Hello and welcome back. Today I want to talk to you about how to dispose of dark magic spell remains and negative energy that goes along with it. So in my practice, I don't make it a habit to practice a lot of dark magic. This is a personal preference of mine. I'd like to avoid negativity if at all possible. Some people call this black magic, but I think that the word black gets a really bad rap. Black is actually a very positive color. It absorbs and repels negativity. It helps to banish things from your life that are not good for you or that want to harm you. It sets up protection and boundaries, and it brings balance. You can use black to absorb negativity and white to restore positivity. So even though I don't use a lot of dark magic in my practice, I believe in balance, and I do not believe in being avoidant. If there is a situation that I see that is very unbalanced in some way, especially if it is because of malicious intent or injustice or out and out evil, then I feel it is my right and my duty to step in, and this is when I'm compelled to perform dark magic. I don't believe that practicing dark magic is necessarily a bad thing. I think that some situations call for it, and sometimes it is a necessity. So when you perform a spell that has a lot of negativity attached to it, even if it's done with good purpose and intention, it has a lot of negativity attached to it, both physically and spiritually. So this means that you have to physically remove the spell remains, and you have to cleanse spiritually the space and yourself. For example, if I perform a Karma Lemon spell and I leave it sitting on my altar, let's say I come home 2 or 3 days later, I'm in a really bad mood. The law of attraction states that like attracts like. So now your negative energy and the energy festering from the spell that you left on your altar is going to combine. It's going to grow. The longer you leave it sitting there, it's going to spread throughout your whole house and all your family. There's going to be disgruntled family members. There's going to be a lot of arguing and fighting. Get this out of your home and cleanse. And you should do this as quickly as possible after performing your spell work. So how do we physically remove our spell remains? I prefer the burial method. So the first thing that you're going to need in order to dispose of your spell remains is a cardboard box. A small cardboard box or even a paper bag. The reason for this is that paper decomposes very rapidly and very easily. Don't use plastic because it's really bad for the environment. It takes a long time to biodegrade. So everything goes in the cardboard box except for your crystals and magical tools, which can be easily cleansed and recharged. I take my crystals and I set them to the side. All of my herbs are going to go in here. I put my incense ashes in here. All of my ashes that I burnt during my spell. All goes in the box. You're going to take this box and you're going to go somewhere where you don't live. Do not bury your negative energy, dark magic spell remains by your home. It just doesn't make common sense, and you're basically living right beside all this negative energy that you're trying to get rid of. Go to a secluded woods, a secluded field. So I love the idea of burying your dark magic spell remains in a cemetery. However, often the rules of the cemetery do not permit this. Additionally, the energy of the cemetery does not permit this. So when you go to bury your spell remains, don't forget to take a tool. A simple little garden trowel. My grandchildren mostly use these to make mud pies in the backyard. But if you don't take a tool, you're going to have a hard time digging. You're going to get really dirty. You're going to get dirt under your fingernails, and that's no fun. Make your life easier and take a little tool with you. Bury your box or bag at least a foot or two deep. Cover it up, walk away, and never look back. I love the idea of burying your dark magic spell remains because symbolically and literally you are laying it to rest. Now, I often hear people saying that they like to dispose of their remains in running water, a stream, or a river, or something to this effect. This is one way that I do not like to dispose of my spell remains, positive or negative, because if you think about it, you are throwing your garbage that's ridden with negative energy many times into the environment. Additionally, when I do dark magic spells, I'm going to have at least one, if not all, my herbs are going to be toxic. You have to think about the fish, the little microorganisms that you don't see in the water. Are you killing them? Are you contaminating the water source for animals that live around the area? Or even for people? People swim in rivers, they swim in lakes and streams. Also, in a lot of areas, you can be fined for dumping your garbage into a water source. I highly urge everybody watching this, don't put your spell remains in the water. There's much better ways to dispose of it. Burying. You can also burn your spell remains. I think this is a fine method. You have to keep in mind a few things when you're burning your spell remains. Some things are very difficult to burn, if not impossible to burn. And then you're left with what to do with it. You can cleanse and recharge certain things like nails and so forth. But bones are very hard to burn completely unless you have some kind of incinerator, and I don't know many people that do. And then you're left with a bone. You're going to have to get rid of it anyway. I think that it saves a lot of time and energy just to bury it, lay it to rest. However, when you burn something, you purify it. So I really have no problem with this method if it's something that you feel within yourself is necessary, right for you. Do what works best for you. Another reason why I prefer the burial method over the burning method is that there are many herbs that when you burn them, they produce toxic fumes. The smoke could be poisonous. So if you decide that you're going to burn something, you need to wear a mask, do it in a wide open, well-ventilated area, or you may inadvertently poison your family, pets, with noxious gas. This is why I highly recommend the burying method, especially if you're using toxic herbs. So now we have physically gotten rid of our dark spell remains by whatever method you choose. You have to remember to cleanse your area. The first thing that I do is I use Florida water. You can make Florida water very easily. I make it often. I just happen to have run out. Or you can go to any metaphysical shop or search online. It's very common and very easy to find, and it's inexpensive and very powerful. So I just put some on a cloth and I physically clean everything, even your crystals. Now, with crystals, you have to be careful how you cleanse and recharge them because some crystals you cannot put in water, some you can't put in salt. Some crystals you cannot put out in the sun. But a quick little cleanse with some Florida water is not going to hurt them. You just want to physically clean them. You want to physically clean your area, your altar space. So I just take it and get everything nice and clean. My incense holder, my cauldron. Now your cauldron, because you burned in it, is probably going to take a little bit extra physical cleaning because you have a lot of ash in there, but you want to be sure and get all of that out. After you physically clean all your area with your Florida water or whatever you use, you need to clear the air. I love Nag Champa incense. This is my favorite incense in the world. I use it all the time. So you can just take a piece of incense, some herbs burning on a charcoal disc, a smudge stick, and you're just going to light it. When I light my incense, I like to breathe my intention onto it 3 times when I'm putting out the flame. So you're just going to kind of cleanse your area. You can cleanse your crystals like this. I like to charge mine under the moon. And you're just going to say something to the effect of, I banish any and all negative energy from my space and from my life. Only peace and happiness shall remain. And you can do this with each crystal. You can do it with your cauldron. You can do it with everything. You can even do it with yourself. And that brings me to the third part. So, you've gotten rid of your spell remains physically. You have cleansed your space, both physically and spiritually. You have cleansed all your magical tools, crystals, cauldron, whatever you used in your dark magic spell, an athame, a wand. All these need to be cleansed and recharged. Lastly, you have to cleanse yourself. Remember that negative energy can be very sticky. It likes to attach itself to things. So you need to spiritually cleanse yourself. You can do this by taking a spiritually cleansing bath or shower. Some people don't like taking baths because they feel like they are sitting in their filth and negativity. I don't look at it this way. I love and prefer baths. But if you're a shower person, you can get a spiritually cleansing shower bar that has all your herbs and oils already in it. And this way, as you're washing all this negativity off, it's going right down the drain and out of your life. I like to place crystals around my bathtub whenever I'm taking a spiritually cleansing bath. You can use amethyst because it's very healing and it's also very spiritually healing. Clear quartz is going to restore peace. Rose quartz is going to bring self-love and all forms of love into your life. Black obsidian or black tourmaline is going to absorb any residual negativity that may be lingering about. I also like to light a black and a white candle. Black is going to absorb any residual negativity, and the white candle is going to restore peace and tranquility, happiness into your home. You can anoint and dress these candles with cleansing herbs, but it's not necessary. Whenever I take a spiritually cleansing bath, I like to add oils, bath salts, or loose herbs. Now, just a tip here, it's great to put loose herbs into a sachet just to help with cleanup. However you decide to cleanse yourself, whether with a smudge or a spiritual cleansing bath, the most important part here is to speak words of purpose and power. I wash away, remove all forms of negativity from myself and from my life. Only peace and happiness will remain. Banish it, get rid of it, command it to be gone. Ultimately, it is your decision how you get rid of the remains of your spell work. The main thing that you have to do is get rid of it, because you don't want to negate all your good intention, your good purpose for doing the spell by allowing negativity to seep into your own life. This should be done as promptly as possible. Get rid of it, lay it to rest, and then forget about it. Go on about your life knowing that you did the right and best thing for yourself and for your loved ones. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel.